Welcome. This is BGVC's take on Broadcom's latest earnings. We're going to jump right in because there's a big idea here we need to talk about. Whenever we talk about the AI revolution, there's one name that just seems to suck up all the oxygen in the room. But what if that whole story, the one that's all about GPUs, is just incomplete? What if we're all missing a giant piece of the puzzle?
So the real question we've got to ask is, forget the shiny stuff for a second. Who's actually building the plumbing, the foundation, the bedrock that this whole new AI world is built on? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dig into today. So here's the thing. While everyone's fixated on the GPU makers, Broadcom's latest earnings, well, they tell a very different story. They're quietly becoming the hidden architect of all this AI infrastructure. I mean, they're not just in the game, they're literally shaping the entire playing field from the ground up.
Okay, so how do we know this for sure? Simple. We follow the money. And Broadcom's Q1 numbers? Wow. They weren't just good, they were like a financial shockwave. And they give us all the proof we need that these guys are right at the center of everything.
Let's just start with the headline number, the one that made my jaw drop. Broadcom's AI chip revenue, it more than doubled year over year. We're talking an incredible $8.4 billion for a single quarter. That isn't just growth, folks. That's a flat-out explosion. And look, that explosion in AI revenue, it lit a fire under the entire company, leading to just a blowout quarter. Check out these numbers. Net revenue shot up 29% to over $19 billion. Their non-GAAP earnings per share hit $2.05, completely smashing what everyone expected. I mean, this is a company that is just firing on all cylinders.
But here's what's really fascinating to me. Look at the shift inside the company. AI isn't some side hustle for Broadcom anymore. Nope. It's now 44% of their entire semiconductor business. Think about that. That's a massive strategic pivot, aiming them directly at the heart of the AI gold rush.
So the big question is, how are they pulling this off? Well, it really comes down to two things, two incredibly powerful pillars in their strategy. First, you've got custom compute. Think of these as the specialized brains. And second, you've got networking, which is basically the digital nervous system holding it all together.
All right, let's break down that first pillar. We're talking about their absolute dominance in custom chips. You might know them as application-specific integrated circuits, or ASICs. Honestly, this is Broadcom's secret weapon. And this is where you really see their power. I mean, get this. Broadcom controls a staggering 70 to 80% of the entire custom AI chip market. They're not just shipping parts out the door. No, they are working side by side with giants like Google to build their custom TPUs. And now they've got a huge strategic deal with OpenAI. It's not just a business, it's a fortress, an incredibly powerful moat that competitors just can't cross. Okay, but having the smartest brains in the world doesn't mean a thing if they can't talk to each other, right? And that brings us perfectly to their second pillar, building the actual networking backbone that makes all this large-scale AI even possible. Look, we're watching a massive shift happen in real time. These AI data centers are scaling up to 1 million GPUs, and the old ways of connecting them, they're just not cutting it anymore. They're hitting a wall. So the whole industry is shifting to a new open standard, Ethernet. And who's at the front of that parade? You guessed it, Broadcom. Their Tomahawk and Jericho chips are the gold standard. They're basically paving the superhighways that all this AI data travels on. And don't underestimate the size of this thing. Just the networking piece brought in $2.8 billion in Q1 alone. That's up 60% from last year. Right now, it's a third of their AI business, and the execs think it's going to grow to 40%. I mean, this is a monster business all by itself. Now, if the story just ended right there, it would already be super impressive, right? But Broadcom has another ace up its sleeve, and it's a part of the business that a lot of people just seem to forget about, their software fortress, which was built on the back of that absolutely brilliant acquisition of VMware. So why was buying VMware so smart? It's all about the margins. Just look at these numbers. 93% gross margin, 78% operating margin. This software business is an absolute cash machine. It gives them this huge, stable, recurring river of money that helps them ride out the ups and downs of the chip industry, and, it funds all their next big ideas. And hey, don't for a second think this is just some old legacy business they bought. The CEO himself, Hock Tan, he sees a direct connection here. He basically said that as companies build their own private AI systems, they'll rely on VMware software to manage it all. It's just the perfect marriage of hardware and software for this new AI age.
Okay, so let's put it all together. We've got a company that's #1 in custom AI chips, a leader in AI networking, and they've got this incredible high-margin software fortress. So the big question is, does the market really get it? Does Wall Street fully appreciate what's going on here?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting. When you put Broadcom side by side with its competitors, something just jumps off the page.
If you look at their valuation, especially the PEG ratio, which, accounts for their growth, Broadcom suddenly starts to look, well, incredibly attractive.
I mean, just look at this number, 0.23. Broadcom's forward PEG ratio is 0.23. Now, to put that in perspective, for a fast-growing company, anything under 1.0 is usually considered a pretty good deal, maybe even undervalued. To see a number this low for a company growing this fast, honestly, it's just astounding. It really feels like the market hasn't fully woken up to just how dominant they are in AI.
And believe me, these guys are just getting started. Management has put a massive goal out there for everyone to see: $100 billion in AI chip revenue by 2027. That's not just some hopeful forecast, that's a declaration. It's a statement of intent that they plan to own the foundational layer of this entire industry.
So that leaves us with one last big question. As this whole AI world barrels towards a $2 trillion future, is it possible that the most important company isn't the one grabbing all the headlines? Could it be the quiet architect, the one in the background that's actually building the world that everything else runs on? That's the real question. Thanks for tuning in.